Murta's guns alone, her pistols got more polygons than you got on Tide's body.
Yeah. Poor Morphling. But anyway, elimination series, game 1 of this best of 3 as we get through this lower bracket for ESL One Raleigh. AVULUS up against Night Pulse, and a smoke out from 5 members of AVULUS, while Night Pulse tucked together, probably going for a later smoke, which is what we quite often see with Kadara holding one.
Yeah, I guess
Tide Hunter.
a little bit uncommon, perhaps, the facet on Sibbe. We have seen a lot of Dawnbreakers go for the other facet, actually. So Solar Charged, fun to watch. It's the Dawnbreaker hitting a target with powered up Luminosity. She decreases the cooldown of all her abilities by 1 second. So, you know, it makes a lot of sense on the core Dawnbreaker. You get a lot of attacks going.
And just play faster.
And once you get the CDR onto your Starbreaker at level 25, you can just smack away.
That's non-stop. And there is that slightly delayed smoke from Night Pulse. Very often we see this to reposition out on the map, secure 2 bounty runes, maybe look for a level 1 fight, because their heroes are pretty good at that. Through Gyro, Tide, Jakiro. If they catch a glimpse of someone, could be an easy pick. Zibe, scouted. AVULUS trying to go for that top river rune, but realizing that when the Tide shows up, not safe anymore. So 2 for 2, but a D ward is there for Seneko.
Has a little bit of advantage. Always nice to find the D ward. Seneko got all the experience for that, so he already has 70 experience going towards his bottom lane.
And then a D ward by the Ember Spirit, thanks to the sentry out of the Dark Willow.
That's really nice. For mid laners to get that level 2 just a little bit earlier is really good.
Especially in this kind of lane where Ember Spirit already has that slight Blightstone spam overhead hanging over Stormstormer. I can't remember who it was, but God, that slight dodge on the roll. We saw this lane yesterday, right, where the Earth Spirit was just low HP the entire laning stage, being spammed non-stop.
Yeah.
Was it Stormstormer playing the Ember against an Earth Spirit, wasn't it? It was the other way around.
I believe so. Was it against Quinn? Did he play back then?
It might have been. There's been a lot of games, Wagga.
Yeah, we've had so much Dota, honestly. It's no, it was all the way back against OG. It was OG picked Ember and Stormstormer playing Earth Spirit. And the lane was a bit rough, but the game was easy. Bottom? We get a first blood.
There's your first blood. Davalama and Desire, while the Gyro top is about to drop to the Eki Lion. Action on both sides. Yes, Night Pulse get first blood, but Gyro dying. Nice snipe there by AVULUS.
Gyro dying before the level 2 timing as well. I thought he died to level 2 from Dawnbreaker and Lion, as it's very powerful, but they only used their first abilities, in fact. Just overstepping a little bit.
Yeah, unexpected.
I'm not the biggest fan of the build that Cut went with for his Gyrocopter in this game. Going for the triple branch plus Blades of Attack, no Magic Stick. I feel like Magic Stick is definitely worth it instead. Just Magic Stick triple branch feels a bit safer to me. This is definitely squishier and easier to kill.
I mean, what is that to try and just last it better against the Dawnbreaker?
Yeah, it's for a bit of early damage, but you know it makes you a bit of a glass cannon. He's still going back for first item power treads, so the blades are just going to be casual until he gets the Falcon Blade next.
Okay.
So I don't know. For me, maybe it could work out on a hero like Drow Ranger who goes Falcon Blade usually before power treads, but it just seems a bit of a risky itemization.
Definitely risky. He's already died once. Mid lane, Earth Spirit out ahead ever so slightly. About a wave advantage in the last hit. Stormstormer still going to get dodged every time he tries to roll here by Warwick's Ember with a Sleight of Fist.
Warwick is doing a good job just holding, not using his Sleight of Fist all the time, but you know, sometimes holding it and making sure there's no play for the Earth Spirit.
Tide sliced down bottom as Smiley Knight now looks to defend Seneko. Fairy Fire walks past the Brambles, and Desire with a Shadow Realm may be able to finish this one off, but getting turned on, and Seneko now has healed up too much. We'll go for the Shadow Realm TP instead of the attempted kill.
Yeah, TP's back to lane, but he doesn't have any regen on him. Maybe Tide brings some of his regen to lane? Nope. Up top, they're going online.
Homing missile to follow. Some good chip damage there from the Gyro, who does step up and put this Blades of Attack flat cannon business to use. Good harassment damage there onto the two AVULUS heroes, but this wave is sacked by the Radiant Tier 1. Good spot for AVULUS to play from and get a bit more guaranteed farm.
Yeah. Both the camps are available, so they can pull it back. Night Pulse can get stopped a bit by Lion, but could still get the pull. Actually, Jakiro is just caught out.
Yeah, into that Starbreaker. A lot of damage. As Eki, Fairy Fire, but the flat cannon is going to land and finish him off. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Seneko. Oh, down he goes to the neutral creeps as a stack of the small
side
camp
lanes,
kills
man.
him.
Non-stop. They're just bleeding out the supports and core heroes as well. Going down. Seneko will have TP when he respawns though, so he can get back to that lane. It does seem, just CS-wise, that Radiant are pulling out a bit of an advantage. Doing quite well on all their cores.
Yeah, feeling a bit more comfortable about things. Davai Lama laning into an Ursa was always going to be a bit of a sad affair for a Tidehunter. He's doing decently in the last hit. Got to make sure he doesn't die too many times. Smiling Knight and Seneko are going to dive forward to try and kill him. Kraken Shell pops off the Fiery Spirit, but the final touch is there.
No lane is safe right now. The damage is just absurd. This is why I like the Ursa as well. Able to put so much damage into those melee offlaners.
In minute 5, we've got Jakiro and Lion looking for a move into that top jungle where the bounty rune's been waiting. Stormstorm was going to come and grab it. And now a potential roll after Earth Spike. Stun is set up there for Stormstormer to grab the kill on Kidaro. A good swift rotation.
A little bit low mana to think about fighting. It's also just barely not level 6.
We'll go on the Lion. Earth Spirit rolls back in and a good kick across 2 cores there. It takes the Gyro and Ember down to about half health, but now Stormstormer realizes there are numbers from Night Pulse.
Jakiro TP?
1, 2, 3, 4 heroes came to play here with Jakiro TPing mid. Gets a nice path onto Stormstormer. He does have another roll once he comes out of the roots and starts his kicks, but doesn't get away. The damage enough.
Good combo there. The homing missile was very fortunate, going from the first intended target of the Lion, turning onto the Earth Spirit and getting the kill for them. By setting up. We have Seneko, putting down some vision.
Dire scanning Seneko, who's warding. Seneko scanning to see if anyone's high ground. It all turns red as Davai Lama drags the wave all the way across to the river now, and Seneko's going to get some denies on the way out.
Yeah, but this Tidehunter is basically giving up on the lane. Davai Lama, we've seen him struggle in the lane before, not having a good time now. And that was against Navi Jr. He was getting really shut down, if you recall. But he's trying to do the best he can. They can prepare some stacks in jungle for him. But it's 7-minute mark coming up. You know what that means. Stormstormer is on the hunt. And not for heroes.
It's time to get a kill into Wisdom Rune, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got Magnetize. So this could be a real big move from AVULUS. I mean, Night Pulse, you know, watching any of the games from the last couple of days, you've got to know this is happening. Ursa leads out. Smiling Knight's there for the Wisdom Rune. Earth Spirit gets in on top of the Dark Willow. Double Wisdom Rune for AVULUS and a kill.
What a fantastic rotation. Just going in, and that's why we praise this hero so much. Earth Spirit, he doesn't need anything to be able to do this. No item needed, no big cooldown expended. He just goes, man. And this tempo that he can bring is difficult to match. A lot of heroes do need a little bit of something, you know. Even Ember needs at least face boots to be able to run around at this pace. But Earth, relentless.
Trying to chip at Eki in the mid lane, but he steps back, gets out of the reach of Desire. Actually, with a Magnetize from Stormstormer, there's Dark Willow in some serious trouble. Lion stepping up, misses the stun, good slight dodge again from Warwick, but the Willow is going to die. No matter what happens there.
And now Willow dead, has to walk out after she respawns, doesn't have TP, and the power runes are being heavily controlled by AVULUS. Work tries to go for it, but he can't really.
Now we've got a Solar Guardian into Chain Stun. Ember Spirit, the dive, the damage, the extra bit of DPS from the Phoenix. 4-man rotation in, doesn't get the kill. Warwick zips away.
The Stormstormer kick there. I wonder if he had cooldown at first, but a little bit too late. Didn't get the damage from the kick onto the Ember. Otherwise would have been a kill. Very, very close.
Almost perfect. But against the Ember Spirit, almost doesn't count.
True, true.
Now
And
the turnaround. And a chains into Ice Path. Good damage, but Eki's still here. Holds them away from Stormstormer. Keeps that mid laner alive.
Yeah, Stormstormer has the bottle still, so he can bottle up, and they could take a fight on the high ground as they see the chase.
Yeah, I mean, there's smoke to run away here. Is Seneko going to turn to defend his mid? Warwick standing and fighting back with Hero trying to Ice Path. They'll get the kill on the Phoenix now, but Warwick is out there. No more fighting for him. And Lion was trying to chase him down, but might have exposed himself, Eki, to a slight chains into follow-up from Willow. Hidaro running back in towards this Lion, and Dawnbreaker as Zibe throws the Celestial Hammer down, battling into this low-ground river while Cut arrives. Gyrocopter chucks the call down, misses it all, and Zibe pretty tanky here. Phase Boots Bracer gets behind the tree line, surviving.
Ooh,
that
is he
damage over
fine?
time, ticking him. He's under tower regen, and the Shadow Realm hit. That will do the trick.
At least the auto attack there from the Shadow Realm means that they know about the ward. The ward is still being revealed, so they're gonna go for the D ward the moment they have a chance to. And the fights keep going on Willow now.
I was watching a replay here. There's Dark Willow again getting rolled on in that mid lane.
Look,
It's a lot of action and noise that kind of takes the chaos away from Davai Lama. You know, he's not been looking great in this lane, starting to recover slowly, but it's a vast difference to what we've seen other Tide performances have, right? Against range carries in particular, they get away with a lot, but Davai Lama now kind of rotating into mid to help. Smiling Knight's going to cover him. The Ravage protecting Ember. Warwick, another slight and dodge away with the Ice Path and the Gyro arriving. They're going to turn and kill Eki. AVULUS there looked like they had another great initiation, barely missing out on a kill, while Davai Lama finally brought to his knees by the Ursa. He's ready to jump the Gyro now, and cuts his second kill. A double for Smiling Knight. As Warwick, he's come back in here. Stern opposition, though, for the Dawnbreaker and Earth Spirit holding the line. A Shadow Realm's required from the Dark Willow to hide. Now AVULUS have run out of gas a little bit. They got some big kills. Time to go back to laning and farming.
yeah, Ursa no ulti, should be paying some respect to him and just backing out, but great rotation coming in from Smiling Knight as well, joining, and just there were no cooldowns ready to deal with the Ursa running at them.
There's no cooldowns for anyone. Every spell getting cast in these fights. As Zibe, farming low HP on this camp, gets sliced by Warwick. Ember Spirit just comes up with that dire vision, seeing the Dawnbreaker so low. And Eki, Seneko, Stormstormer trying to hold this bottom jungle. They'll boot Nightpulse out of here, but they don't get any return kills. Just a D ward.
Another ward shown, though, by going in for that. At least worth, you know. You get a kill, that's fine. Your ward can die. Nightpulse, though, feels like they're always just barely hanging on in these fights. AVULUS looking a little bit stronger every move that we see.
They're the ones kind of dictating the pace of play, right? They're the ones making the go call. Stepping forward, playing aggressively, forcing Nightpulse to react constantly. There's a rough spot to be in, because you get caught reacting, and then you get caught sleeping. Yeah, Dark Willow down.
See the value of having Lion, the chain stun together with the Stormstormer, Earth Spirit rolling. Now, that should be the entire Blade Mail as well for Stormstormer complete. So Earth Spirit will be a bit more difficult to deal with, and then in this game, Blade Mail is looking hella good. Gyrocopter, Dark Willow, Jakiro. I always talk about that uncontrollable AoE damage. It can be hard to play against Blade Mail users. We're not going to see double Blade Mail, though. Zibe is planning to get the early Orchid. This is a build that he does quite frequently on Dawnbreaker. Just increase the kill potential. And this game against Ember Spirit, you don't really need to explain why. It's just a good catch.
Good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still thinking about this Tide Hunter. You know, Zibe's performances, 3-3, some of these other off-lane players get away with a lot with these Tide later picks. Because very often it feels like they're playing into a Morphling. And Tide kind of just sits there, farms back. Anchor Smash is great against these shorter range Morphlings and Lunas or whatever it might be.
Exactly.
But here, the Ursa got to respond to the Tide, and now Tide doesn't have this great Vlad's into Blink, or Vlad's into Shard Blink kind of itemization.
Yeah, I think Tide is a fantastic hero when the enemy has already revealed the carry. But when you know that there's the potential of counterpick, like they banned out counterpicks. They banned Lifestealer, they banned Slark. They're like, oh, we can't lane against this or that. But, you know, what about Ursa, Monkey King? You know, there's still... Monkey was banned as well, but there were still options. And that's why we see Davai Lama struggle. Ravage. Now it's gonna
I mean, he doesn't
shoot
even
too
protect
much
himself, does he?
immediately.
Trying to TP and react to
Nice
this.
catch Stormer, though, with this.
Ice Path misses. All the Guardians in, and the Gyro, he overextended. Shows himself to this AVULUS side, who burst him down. 2 cores gone. Now the roll back in from Storm gets them the 3rd kill. Supernova means there is no advancing into this fight anymore. Warwick and Kidaro bail.
Sibbe with a cute move as well. He hugged the edge of the cliff there to use his Q from the low ground onto the high ground Dark Willow. Just a neat little move, but it was a valiant attempt with the Ravage trying to turn the fight around, but now they put that huge ability on cooldown, and we know how teams love to punish. Now you don't have Ravage for the 14 minute. The Wisdom Rune is being, definitely eyed up already.
The second one, you look at the Dark Willow, right? What is she? She level 5? I hope she's close to level 6.
She's level 4, dude. She's level 4.
That's rough.
She's not level 5. She's still struggling, man. And she needs this Wisdom Rune. She's warding up, putting down the sentry. Gyrocopter is here to try and help fight for it, but Ursa...
Look at AVULUS. They know there's no Ravage, and that big dive in with a kick across, magnetized onto 4. They start off with a bang already. Tides on the run. Almost not getting turned on, but the tanky Earth Spirit able just to stand here and get through it all. Remnants back by
Magnetize.
Warwick. Another silencing kick with a magnetize still going. They start with a stun on the Ember, but they don't follow through under tier 2.
And they don't get it. They don't get that Wisdom Rune. They also don't get a win in the fight. They have to lick their wounds, go reset, and huge win for AVULUS. Yeah, that wasn't a tower or anything, but it was much more important than that. The level 5 minute 14 Dark Willow is just not getting to play the game.
A tough spot to be in now. Like, the 5k lead might not appear like it's a lot, 15 minutes in, but these double Wisdom Runes, the map space that AVULUS has, and again, right, the first series we saw them at, it seemed like AVULUS maybe not respecting their opponents, playing a bit slower, not their usual selves. Now they are, firing on all cylinders. They are casting their spells off cooldown, non-stop looking for targets, getting these Wisdom Rune steals, playing like AVULUS have been playing in every other qualifier, where they've found qualification at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking at the Ursa right now. So Ursa has the BKB queued up, but he also had Blink after BKB. But he actually chose to go for the Blink first. Maybe it's because they're owning the map already so hard, and perhaps he would have gone BKB otherwise. But this reminds me of yesterday. We were watching the first qualification match where the Ursa went BKB first and just couldn't really get involved in fights. I really like to see the Blink coming out. It feels so much more active. Even in a hard game, I think Blink on Ursa can find those surprise kills.
Look at how wild this is. Like, the Dark Willow gets within 2,000 range. Eki is there. And then the reach that AVULUS has with this ability just to jump over and catch from Earth Spirit, Ursa, Phoenix, Dawnbreaker. Everyone has a way to get to a teammate and help them.
Yeah, they're very, very active at playing towards each other on the map always. They draft heroes that do it. AVULUS in general, a very cohesive team, and they do not like just farming. They're always going for an objective. So right now, Ursa going for the Roche. One of the big benefits of having this hero. You can get the Aegis. Already took all the the side lane tier 1 towers. Mid tier 1 tower might be a target after this.
Yeah, easy Roche through the twin gate. Back down bottom to gather up the waves. This is where the big tsunami comes. The swelling from the Radiant side. The creep waves build up. The Dire kind of bunker back behind their objectives. And they've got to rely on this Ravage into reaction.
Look at the rally. That's what we're fighting for, right? The qualifier slot.
Yep. Got to rally to rally.
Rally to rally. Ursa is thinking about top, but diving tier 2 would be a big mistake. There's a lot of heroes behind. The Vailama looking as tempting as he can. He even got the stun animation going on his Tidehunter.
Scanning in front of them to see what's there.
Oh, they're gonna jump him.
Ursa all alone. Yeah, Smiling Knight. I mean, he's playing with fire up here. Being poked at currently with a gush, slight. Smiling Knight Ice Path breaks free and rages up a bit of distance now. And Night Pulse. I mean, these are the kind of moves where it really is just playing on playing on the fear that 5 people are sat there, 4 behind the Ursa, and Nightpulse respect that fact, but AVULUS are actually spread out across the map.
But even so, they know that Dawnbreaker has ulti ready. So at least there's the Dawn ulti that can come in. He has the Aegis as well. If there's just any other hero nearby, then that's a tough fight for Nightpulse. So they think better of it and just back out. But that's costly again. You're staring at a hero, chasing him for a little bit, and invest so many heroes doing nothing. That's a big thing in Dota. Like, how many heroes did you use to achieve whatever you did? They achieved nothing, and they used a lot of heroes for it. So it slows down their pace. 10k lead now and building, and Kidaro, he's shown himself on mid lane.
Someone's gonna chase him. Nightpulse, got a couple of heroes nearby here, but Kidaro's just gonna be left to die.
Yeah, the Blade Mill proving some value again. And this is where we see Nightpulse struggle to get online. They don't really have any intentions to go for moves, it feels like. They were trying to counterplay on top, but they're so far behind that actively hunting for kills is just not an option for them. Trying to build towards... they got the pipe complete, sorry, for, on pipe.
Holy Knight, again, just gonna turn and fight back as Nightpulse trying to kick him off this tier 2 tower. Now a bit of disengage back to high ground. AVULUS in the better spot. As Nightpulse charge up the staircase, they're going to be met by stuns out of Eki. A roll in from Stormstormer misses the connection. Still going to land there with a Magnetize onto Gyro, but a Ravage to turn onto Stormstormer's Earth Spirit, and Nightpulse get the first big kill. Ursa Aegis, it is claimed. Another move back in, though, with an Earth Spike and a Celestial Hammer going to bring down Desire. A dive forward from this Phoenix. Spent the Supernova already, and Seneko needs a Solar Guardian to save him. He will jump forward, get a second support kill. But Nightpulse pretty happy with the way this is all panned out. They can now turn back onto Zibe. Homing missile coming, 2-man slide chains on his Lion and Phoenix. Another couple of big pickoffs here for Warwick if he can land it. But in comes the Ursa. Massive damage from Smiling Knight to turn this fight around again. And Gyro, yet again, very low, overexposed, clapped down by Zibe.
Zibe's impact in this fight was massive. Very nice ulti from him, and also just hunting down heroes with this Orchid. You don't think that, you know, a Dawnbreaker is going to be that scary, but when she runs at you, actually, Smiling Knight finds Tidehunter sticking around. Greedy Dalai Lama trying to farm the Ancients after they lost the bottom fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's really
I mean, that's just greedy. That's just greedy, nothing else.
And now Tormentor for Smiling Knight. 21-minute Wisdom Rune in 40 seconds. AVULUS just going to bring 5 heroes back here, aren't they?
Yeah, they get that. 30 seconds, like you said. We'll see if they stick around. They're pretty low resources, and they don't have spells. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually back out and say, okay, you can have 1 Wisdom Rune this game. But, you know, they would like to say no to it. We see Earth Spirit. Stormstormer doesn't want to give that Wisdom Rune away. He's rolling over.
So afraid. They're scanning. Is that Desire, the Dark Willow, just sitting there like, please, yeah. I beg, 1 Wisdom Rune. Please, sir, can I have some?
He got it.
He gets it. Little victories, but he's gonna die for it.
Yeah, what did this cost you? Just my life. Okay. Meanwhile, they're gonna, of course, get their own Wisdom Rune. The Lion goes and grabs it. Lion has his Blink Dagger coming out, and a smoke. He's gonna see Warwick coming up.
Oh, Warwick trying to come and steal this. A spike into Solar Guardian, into Hex and Finger of Death, the Orchid and the damage, it's good enough.
I love these moves. These random supports with catch abilities going towards the gate when the Wisdom Rune recently has spawned. Because it's so likely that the opponent want to go and check at least if your Wisdom Rune is there. He just finds a free kill. And Dawnbreaker, of course, again, facilitating this move. Without Dawn, that was not a kill for a Lion. But time and time again, we see why this hero is first pick material, why it's so damn good, and why you and I keep calling for it in drafts. Whenever we see it ignored, it's like, where's the Dawn? What's happening, you know?
Bring out the Dawn. Yeah, it's such a good process there, right, for Eki. We've played 5 men to the right side of the map. Ember Spirit is going to come here for either Wisdom Rune or Ancients or, you know, Cutting Waves, something. Because he wants to try and mirror and play the opposite side to where we are. And just, you commit 1 hero, right? You commit a position 4 Lion. He might die, he might get a catch, but it's just that gamble that the Lion plays there. And it pays off big time. Now, Smiling Knight and Eki pair up again. Find a kill on Desire. And AVULUS, look at these tier 2 towers. mid and top as the easy targets, as they've taken full control of this game one. A 20k lead, 24-9. iPulse so far have bitten back a little bit, but every time they try and match this aggression, they're just battered down by the multiple resets and waves of attacks that AVULUS seem to have.
Yeah, and this is where it's a bit dangerous as well, the draft that they're running. They did choose a very big teamfight draft, but if you cannot take the teamfights, then you don't have anything. Compared to a draft with more pick-off focus, right? Like the AVULUS draft. Even if AVULUS were to lose the early game, they could still go for pickoffs with Ursa Lion. Which heroes do you see going for pickoffs on Night Pulse, now that the game is difficult? It's so hard.
Tide?
Yeah, the slow... Exactly. Tide is like the fastest one, and he doesn't have a blink. So it's very difficult to set up any stunts. BKB on the Dawn. She's not an easy kill, even for all 5 of them. She could just BKB TP. Nice lead with the Ice Path.
Very nicely done. That's a big kill on Zibe. And also, quite important now as we get towards their next Roshan to take control of an area of the map. As well as Noro just get popped out there as the TP home from Tide is successful. Gets away with his life. But looking at this now shift from daytime to nighttime, it feels like top left corner becoming a very valuable place to hold.
They got 1700 gold for the kill done.
17? Wait, really?
Yes, 1700 gold for it. So that was definitely a worthwhile investment. The smoke paid off big time. That's why we want to see teams that are on the back foot try and find these initiations. It did cost them their Ravage, and now Tidehunter is being chased. Lion and Earth Spirit.
And breaks free a little bit with a Kraken Shell.
Oops.
Gonna sidestep the roll. Stormstormer doesn't land that one. It looks like Tidehunter is gonna get himself away. Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Zibe Tide with what, like 40 stacks of that Kraken Shell?
The roll, Dawn ulti, boom.
Oh, the gyro. Connected on by Stormstormer, down to half. I mean, he's gone. Done for with his Dawnbreaker arriving, and as quick as that, the gyro goes from position 1 to dead.
Gyrocopter's not having a game at all. And he's also going for this survivability builds.
They're diving. They're under tier 3, looking at this Jakiro. Yields into the sky. Ursa held back. And a roll in from Stormstormer connect. Right in towards the Jakiro and Willow with another Celestial Hammer and Starbreaker. They find the 2 support kills by the tier 4s. Real eager moves here by AVULUS to finish this one off pre-30 minutes.
They're just not slowing down, and credit to Night Pulse, they're not tapping out, they're doing what they can across the field, but it feels like they're just, waiting for it to end, basically. They went for a nice move on Dawnbreaker, but their lineup is so much slower.
Yeah, they get one, then they lose 3, lose another objective. AVULUS here, they've got lots of options as well. They can go top lane to try and push that with a new wave arriving. Roshan is ready to go and claim as well. Ursa, stick around in that base for a little bit. Tagged up with a couple of dire spells. But he's out there with BKB and Rage still ready. Not really under that much threat.
Yeah, Tidehunter gonna TP away, not get caught out this time. See, at least has Blink Dagger. Ravage coming off cooldown. Okay. So there's a chance for them to go for something. Have a fast initiation. Do they have another smoke on the supports? They do. Smoke on the Willow. So just trying to fix the lanes now, and they will attempt to get out. Mid lane is fine-ish. But Ursa, meanwhile, thinking about the Roche. This is an Ursa with 19k gold. Your top farmer is 11k, followed by 9,000. If you pair them up, you have the same gold as the Ursa, pretty much.
Yeah. That's rough. It's pretty hard for Davai Lama here as well, because we're looking at, Ursa and Dawnbreaker with BKBs. Earth Spirit is a recipe away. Doesn't have it yet, but he's got Sandra Yasha, so he can kind of wriggle free of the Ravage.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen Sanjasha, sort of substituting the BKB rush some of these games, getting it earlier.
Even if you get the right moment, the right positioning, there's a lot of tools here AVULUS has. Still waiting for this Gyrocopter to really show up. Aghanim's Hurricane Pike, Falcon Blade. Kind of the hybrid build again.
Hurricane
as well. I'm a fan of it.
Now, this no damage build Gyrocopter gotta go, dude. I've seen it before.
I need a crystal or something in it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan at all. I think that it's lacking.
Was it Dream who did it last time as well?
I was
Against
trying
Navi
to think
Jr.?
about that. Yeah, I looked it up, but didn't he play against Navi Jr.? He played Spectre at the games.
Yes, he did.
So it wasn't against them, but we did see it before, and we
Maybe it
didn't
was
like
someone
it.
else.
I just can't remember which game it was, but this survivability build on Gyrocopter, especially when you're behind, I think you need to go for a Crystallis. I think you need to go for some form of farm speed in the jungle, because even though he's been tucking away and farming, he hasn't been able to keep pace at all with the way this game is going.
Right. I mean, the framing of this conversation is there are these two primary builds on Gyro, right? There's the Parker build, which is this kind of early game tanky build with Dragonlance, Sanjin Yasha, and then you got Hurricane Pike, and you are super tanky, you're mobile, and you play actively. And then there's the other build, which is the Crystallis Aghanim Satanic, which is kind of the later game build that gives you a lot of sustain and makes you a monster, a rapier builder. Come back to this in a second, because the Dawnbreaker is getting gone on around the Wisdom Rune, which Desire steals. A bit of vengeance here for the Dark Willow, but stunned up and killed. Funny moment there, though, for Willow as they managed to get themselves the Wisdom Rune.
Actually stole one, and the other Wisdom Rune got taken by Soneko, so still 1 for 1 on the Wisdoms, at least getting something. Oh, they don't have the Tide Shard.
Oh, they don't, do they? The Soneko's got himself out of there, and TPs are coming out of Avulus. Dawnbreaker's going to swing across. Immediate homing missile targeted onto her, while Soneko dives away from the Tide. Another Gush and Anchor Smash, and Avalama really wants to try and finish off this Phoenix. Tracking back onto Soneko, but this has allowed Avulus to catch up and play in. 3-man Ravage, but the Supernova is still going to come. They can't control or protect this Phoenix, so they get the egg and take it down. But now the turn onto this Gyro, protected so far by the Jakiro. Good macro fire, and Magnetize and Earth Spirit's popped it on them, but I don't know if you can keep refreshing it.
Yeah,
Disengage from Night Pulse gets them the distance. They are running to the hills, while Eki scrambling, trying to find an opening. Hidaro TP's out. Oh, maybe track back onto the Tide as Davalama, the slow slug, is wandering back towards base. It looks like he's managed to get just enough distance here.
That's really good for them. They saw that they weren't all grouped together. They knew Ursa was far away. They even saw Ursa running in towards them so they could run the right direction away from the fight. Now though, Ursa with the Aegis, going to be hyper aggressive, looking to push.
Yeah, straight up on the tier 3.
Has to be a bit careful at least. He wants to dive, but the follow-up isn't really there right now.
That's going to be the signal, just to fall back, maintain these lanes, keep them hemmed in the base. Maybe if they spot one of these heroes, they can jump them. Desire sat by tier 4s.
Davalama just wants to get out and get some farm, but he's been spotted by the Dawnbreaker, the innate.
Yeah, he's come out of the base at the break of dawn, and he's dead. Stunned up, the 4-stab. Hang on a second, he's not dead. He's alive, breaks free, but the Gyrocopter now, the one that's being opened up on.
That was unreal.
That's not good timing.
No,
Does
not a
Gyro
good
have
time to
buyback?
No,
he does
think
not.
he doesn't. Yeah, no. This Gyrocopter.
Do they have
I
any
don't
more
know.
4-staffs?
They used his 4-staff and then he got kicked out. So no, they have a Yule Scepter over on the Dark Willow, but that's not gonna help against the BKB Ursa right next to your Gyro. Yeah, I think he's just dead, dude. I don't see a solution to saving him.
No, he's dead for a long time. And then you're without your Gyro for this high ground push, which Avos are ready for. But yeah, I guess we can come back quickly to the item build, right? That Crystallis Aghanim Scepter, much more of a farming build to hit a timing, whereas the Dragonlance Sanjin Yasha, more of a fighting build to play actively and then kind of hit bigger items after that. But now we have this hybrid build where we're going Dragonlance into Aghanim Scepter, and it feels like when the players are building this, there's this disparate playstyle where they're not sure if they should join or fight, and we have this really difficult balancing act to play all of a sudden.
I think Dragonlance Aghanims want to fight. Is the purpose. Like, you want to go to the fight, and then you have Aghanims for the auto attacks. But to me, where I don't really follow, like, I understand the Hurricane Pike. I understand wanting to have a 4-staff against the Ursa and get away from all these scary melee cores on Avulus. But I think you just shoot yourself in the foot as a carry if you don't buy any damage item, basically. Like, Aghanims is sort of damage, but if they're 30 minutes in and he hits for 131 damage, like, these heroes don't care.
Yeah, and there's no Chen, Beastmaster, Ogre, Invoker, right? We can get away with this kind of build if there's an Alacrity or a Bloodlust. because you've got that kind of steroid. In this game, you don't have anything. I mean, he doesn't have a hero in a second, as it looks like. We'll resume and then pause. I need to get Davalama back into the Discord. This is looking like the last moments for Nightfalls in this game, as the Gyrocopter is about to drop. Ice Path and Macroplier. There's a good amount of damage
for everyone
from Kidaro, but they dive into the back. They finish off a few more. Beyond Godlike Smiling Knight, 3 dead, 1 buyback, 2 buybacks. Will come and try and fight around this Dark Willow, dying with 3 buybacks out of the 2 supports and the Tide. As AVULUS, they've spent the BKBs and a few big spells, so a kill on the line is good there from Nightpulse to hold their base. And Ember Spirit's onto the Ursa now. Aegis, it should be
got the ulti,
here, shouldn't it? They've got to chase this one down. They need to kill this Ursa, but they can't catch him. He's got ulti, he's got blink. Storm is still lurking in the trees. Auric chasing with a slight and a chains, but the Supernova Sunray comes back out.
Look at Zib.
Nightfalls away, and Zibby, he's in. Good Starbreaker. Nice Yules, though. Desire's going to stay alive because of it. Dawnbreaker Ursa still looking for this additional jump. Realm. Nice time for the Dark Willow to get a bit more damage and pop the Aegis. Kidaro and Warwick looking to try and turn on his Dawnbreaker, but the Starbreaker claps down onto the hero. A little bit more here onto Warwick. Will finish the job. Abyssal stun, silence from the Orchid, kills off the Ember Spirit. There is a buyback for him as they turn on the Ursa. No Aegis as enraged, though. Half HP breaks free of the control. Solar Guardians coming in onto this Phoenix and Ursa too. Stormer with his BKB holding the line, while Nightpulse, they've multi-bought back here. They need to get something. A kill on Phoenix. I'll have to do for now. They've defended their base. They've not lost, but they spent a whole hell of a lot to stay alive.
Ursa's BKB is coming off cooldown. He has Abyssal ready as well, so he's looking for more. Got the ult. He's gonna jump the Gyrocopter top. Might go for the backline even. Nope, it's Gyro.
Oh, he goes straight on the Gyro. He does get the Hurricane Pike and a Glimmer Cape. Ice Path, not going to hit the Ursa, so Smiling Knight actually walks into it. But Zibe and Eki, they've got the stun. Finger of Death. Gyrocopter dead. Buyback available for him, but they don't have it on the Jakiro. And Warwick, he's got to get back in the fountain to keep himself alive.
It's just a non-stop mauling. They're just going so strong. The Ursa fighting off his cooldowns every time he has them. And Nightpulse, I think they may have run out of gas to defend. Ravage still on cooldown for 80 seconds. Yeah, I think you gotta let top and mid go and maybe fight for bottom racks at this point. This lane looks undefendable without your Jakiro. You don't want to buy back the Gyrocopter.
I thought it was undefendable in the last fight. Shows how much I know.
Yeah, I mean, they tried.
Nightpulse have done a good job at being resilient and holding on. But my god, this game feels like AVULUS have had it for a while.
Oof, we're in.
Ursa blows up the Dark Willow.
Desire standing a little bit too close. Smiling Knight with a good read where he can go. So hard to punish an Ursa jumping like that. What are you gonna do? Try and stun him? He's got the BKB and the Enrage ready. The Ravage on cooldown. Yeah, where's the shard on the Tide? You know, at least lock him in place. But
that's not here this game. We've got a couple of nullifiers arriving as well for the Radiant as they just jump and burst the Ember. Dead for 80, no buyback, and now cut. Kami, Dream, Gyro, whatever you want to call them, dead is what he goes by now. Buybacks available, but at this point, what's the point? Supernova's in
no, the fountain farming egg.
Farming in the well. This is a real statement here. Seneco's egg's going to land, dives away, holds them all in the fountain while the tier 4s are being battered by Stormstormer.
Ravage is up.
Maybe a little bit bad-mannered from AVULUS there, as they do have Nightpulse going back in with a Ravage and a Gyro. 3 men clipped on, Tentacles landing. Terrorize as well, and a follow-through from this Jakiro and Gyro. The damage, it looked good to begin with, but the sustain and turnaround from AVULUS is going to clap back on them. Tide is dead, Gyro follows through on, and no matter how many ice paths you chuck in, this Gyro's done for. Game 1, it goes to AVULUS. Nightpulse, the same fortunate series of events they did in that first series of the qualifier, and AVULUS totally broken up. A monstrous performance from them.
Do in her lane. Does she get off to a good start? Does she get towards that Treads plus Battle Fury at a decent timing? Or is she going to be suffering and getting bullied into jungle? Because PA does not want to jungle early. Some heroes farm jungle early really fast, like Templar Assassin can deal with it. You know, you can send your Luna's jungle or whatever. But PA, it's okay to jungle, but it's definitely not good to go jungle like level 4, level 5.
The methodical PA again. Looking for those guaranteed crits.
That seems to be
It's
the
AVULUS.
Western European style.
Yeah.
This is the Eastern European second facet for PA.
The Hellbear Potato goes and scouts into Dire Ancients, while AVULUS, they've found an opening with Disruption, Shards onto Kidaro and Desire. The damage on this Hoodwink looks good. The Blood Grenade thrown. The final touch is not
He's
coming,
fine.
though, as AVULUS, they've got to reset. Tier 1 tower offering protection and a turn. Onto Smiling Knight, trying to dive this Bristlebag with the 3 cores running forward, but PA
missed the
maybe has
timber.
overstepped here, gets turned on. Davai Lama now on the run, Timber chaining back down to low ground. A lot of back and forth and poking here, but nobody dead yet. No real blood spilled.
All right, the big win. They have 20. I was gonna say 30, but Snako just popped it. 20 magic stick charges on Dire from this. Eki got a 10 stick. Zibba got a 10 stick ready.
That's incredible.
Yeah, get some preparation for the lanes.
Yeah, nice big start to the lanes. And bounty runes. Kidaro denies one. Cut, grabs one. And then the other 2 for AVULUS.
Yeah, so slight advantage for Dire. Gonna be happy.
What's this Potato doing? Where's he going?
Oh, he didn't go for the mana burn convert, right? Chen has 5 different converts. He is a Hellbear. Interesting. I haven't seen the Hellbear used, so we'll see how that's gonna work. Does give the attack speed aura and did a death throw, which gives 120 attack speed when it dies. So if you kill this Potato, then watch out for the auto attacks flying in. 120 attack speed is not a lot.
Yeah, I've only seen this against the Nyx in particular, because the Potato doesn't have mana, right?
Oh yeah.
They had a creep that wasn't going to get insta-killed by Mind Flare. But outside of that specific scenario, I've not seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it might be good. You just need to be ready to auto attack in. He's gonna die
He's
for
going to
nothing
kill the
now, though.
Potato. 36
36
gold.
gold. That's a lot, man.
A nice bit of money for the past 4. And Cut's already burnt through a fair amount of regen early on as well, but has the Chen by his side to keep topping him up. PA should be okay for now, even though he does get spammed by these level 1 spells of AVULUS. And not waiting for level 2, right? This Tusk Dawnbreaker lane just putting the hammer and the shards onto heroes as often as they can.
I like that. In this lane, they're gonna auto-generate magic stick charges anyway against the PA. So you want to put your mana to good use as soon as possible.
Mana's a resource. Mana regenerates. What's the point in having
the
a
level
full
2
mana
timing.
path? Oh, the damage
PA
onto
wants
this
level
PA.
2, she kills the creep.
Phantom Strike to the left, barely surviving. They kill the Potato and they've got control of this lane completely as AVULUS.
Not an easy start. PA taking quite a beating. I'm not fully convinced about the Chen's impact with the Potato yet. It's a nice idea, but feels like the 2 of them are still way weaker than the Dawnbreaker and Tusk together. It is a classic combo. Dawn Tusk with the tag team, pop the tag team, and then the Q comes in.
Already across the board, a tough laning stage, right? This bottom lane we've been watching going well for AVULUS. Mid lane so far 12 and 5 for the Tiny. Early days does have that little advantage over Warwick, but Storm a very good player here in this kind of matchup in particular, getting the upper hand against the Earth Spirit. And then top lane, Davai Lama has been kind of shut down here by the Bristle and the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, he's trying as he can to deal damage with the Timber Chain. He has a lot of magic stick charges. Goes for a branch play, the branch Timber Chain. Very nice. Still not really enough to kill the Shadow Demon though.
Now then the Smiling Knight with 10 spit charges, spamming his spells, going across to the Lotus Pool. Poison stacking with the Blood Grenade on Davai Lama. Good disruption.
They messed it up.
The chain. Davai Lama is going to chain back onto Seneko though now. Acorn shot and another Blood Grenade with Timber having more spells. Should be able to kill this Shadow Demon off with a little touch from the Timber Chain to get first blood. And Smiling Knight couldn't keep tabs on that Hoodwink either.
And now taking better damage. Desire coming in but doesn't have spells yet. Almost has his Q.
Is Davai Lama going to get this? I've dropped Smiling Knight very low, but again, a full stick there. A lot of spam out of this Radiant lane.
What happened there, they messed it up. They disrupted and then used Quill Spray at the same time, not dealing the damage on Timber. Otherwise, they would have gotten the kill on Timber, but miscommunication on the boys didn't really coordinate the Quill Spray and the disruption.
Actually, it kind of looked good in a vacuum, you know, stopping the Timber Chain, doesn't get too far away.
Oh, it was a kill. If they just didn't mess up the Quill, if he held it, or if they disrupted a little bit later, whichever, it would have been a kill 100%.
Unfortunate there to give the first blood to Davalama as well, who was starting to fall behind a bit in last hits.
Tower dive bottom on the PA.
Yeah, diving out of tier 1 with a 2-man Starbreaker. PA at sub 100 health. Magic stick on cooldown, but AVULUS have already spent all their spells. So Chen and PA, they stay alive for now.
Look at that attack speed. Boom,
kept this
boom,
PA
boom.
farming. Maybe even a turnaround play onto Zibe Dawnbreaker.
Alright. Keeping the Dawnbreaker really low. PA's evasion was carrying pretty hard in that previous fight.
And Davalama gets another kill up top. 2-2-0 build, slices this Bristleback.
Yeah, this is the right build for the lane. Very nice to just get the damage. Ping out the damage done. No way.
That's a surprising amount of burst comes out of this Timbersaw. All of a sudden, gonna keep your wits about you.
Mid lane though, Stormstormer is actually crushing Warwick right now. 31 to 10
moly.
for 15 and 5, so effectively doubling both his last hits and denies. Now making a move to top. Stormstormer thinking could maybe help his top lane a bit.
It looks like with that
He got
scan
scanned.
in particular. I know he's coming. But yeah, how quickly a lane can change, right? From AVULUS having the upper hand, dominating this lane, pressing back on this Timbersaw, and Hoodwink, one kill, that first blood, turns it on its head and gives Davalama now a pretty damn good lane.
Yeah, he has a lot of experience coming in as well. So we'll see if AVULUS play aggressive under tower. Don't want to give away 3 range creeps for free, but the Timber on the tower, can't do much about it.
Yeah, hard to stop. So then Hoodwink stacking.
Down
Down
Chen
the bottom,
bottom.
Ice Shards on the Chen. Zibe and Eki here, right on top of Kidaro. EP reactions arriving from Earth Spirit. Chen dies. Snowball buys time for the Tusk. And Dawnbreaker to try and get away. They keep tabs on Eki. The TP out though. Wise maneuver from the Tusk. Drops the pathetic Chatwheel line. While Zibe goes for the pool. Grabs the Lotus. And he's going to even turn and hit the PA.
Yeah, very nice. Zibe with a good understanding that he didn't need to TP out as well as the Earth Spirit left to go back mid. He had a ward that spotted him keep running away, so felt safe to just stick around. And 30 seconds. So Neko, what you thinking right now? Stormstormer, where are you heading right now?
The scan's too early, man.
Yeah.
Are they not going for it?
No.
That's a first.
Yeah, this is like the first time in many, many games that we've seen from AVULUS where they're not on the enemy with them. They're just respecting that, okay, we can't really do it. Earth Spirit is there. Earth Spirit has ulti. Timbersaw is pretty strong. They're going to respect it and back out. And oh no,
Nightpulse's turn for revenge.
And tips come out.
Well done, Kidaro. Taste of your own medicine, AVULUS. Your wisdom rune stealers, pilfering from the poor supports who need that experience.
They honestly still owe a lot of it wisdom back to their enemy teams, yeah. They gotta pay the debt. PA, low HP. Pops a salve, but gets cancelled.
Anthem Strike's ready. Snowball still going over the top of this PA, though, and the final bits of damage. Enough. Good gap close there from the Tusk. But he's going to get turned on here by the Timber rotation. Davalama and Kidaro going to finish Eki off. But again, a lot of pressure on this PA. It's not an easy time farming down here. And we are starting to see these dire cores get out ahead at arm's reach in terms of net worth. Like, Tiny's nearly at 4k, 3,500 on this Dawnbreaker. Really, only the Timbersaw right now who's contesting that top 3 of farm.
Yeah. Earth Spirit being this underfarmed is not a good thing at all. The last hit seed just got outplayed on the mid lane, and you picked Earth Spirit into Tiny. You chose to play this matchup. So, a little bit concerned about that.
Well, the Guardian's going to come in towards this top rune spot where they find the Warwick Earth Spirit. 4 heroes here from AVULUS. Now the pace is starting to pick up.
Oh yeah.
Level 6 on Dawn, use it as quickly as you can.
Oh, sorry, the DD room was on the Tusk. He was the one to grab it. They want it stolen. They're going behind now. Double support, starting to rotate around. Know that Bristleback is completely fine on his own.
Oh,
They can kill Kidaro. 2 of them should be able to do it.
well, it's such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? He's just watched all his little children die. Dawnbreaker has slain his family, and then they kill the Chen as well.
Well, you might as well join them. You know, honestly. Your family is dead.
They've got the graveyard slot allocated for him. Now Alarm up top is going to get found here, but Timber Chain TP. Hang on a sec. No more stuns. Not enough damage either.
So
Barely
close.
gets home, though.
So close. Meanwhile, Soneko, you see his farm right now? You see what Soneko is up to? Mr. Shadow Demon. He's just farming a triple stack and a double camp at the same time.
Yeah. Level 3 Shadow Poison.
I guess that solves the not getting your Wisdom Rune. You just go and steal the enemy stacks. Even amplify them. He made an own stack on top of it.
I mean, getting level 6 pre-minute 10 with no Wisdom Rune is a feat in its own right.
Yeah, and
Tusk
actually
has also hit 6 too.
I don't know how they do it, man, but these rotations, they're just joining kills. And the D-wards, of course, give quite a bit, as that was what gave the Tusk his 6.
We've seen games where supports minute 14 are level 4. I mean, last game we had the Dark Willow, exact scenario.
Yeah, but they're so active. That's what happens. AVULUS, their supports and their cores, they play together, look for kills, and thus they will find stuff. Dawn, the 10-minute innate, is going to give them the vision.
A couple of heroes were smoked, though, so they didn't see the Hoodwink or the Earth Spirit until Desire showed mid. And Warwick's Earth Spirit is still down bottom, but the vision that AVULUS got was that PA is alone. Earth Spirit could roll in and try and fight back into this, but PA is already dead. And a good magnetize. Maybe he can get some support kills here with the help of the Timber Saw. They'll chase Eki down with the Earth Spirit and finish off the Tusk. An evacuation time for the rest of AVULUS. Trying to get Stormstormer out of here.
They got him.
TPing home, but the Bushwhack is there. A great double kill for Warwick, getting himself back in the game.
That's huge. Warwick is finally having a bit of sigh of relief, as that will push him towards his Blade Mill, get closer towards it. They needed that counter gank to work out. Meanwhile, top lane we see PA and Bristleback just fighting each other a little bit, as more stacks are being made jungle. Quadruple stack now on the Ancient stack for Radiant.
I don't know if that's counted as fighting each other. PA blinking, hitting 4 times, and Bristleback saying, alright, yeah, you can have this lane, I'm leaving. Barely took any damage.
It was a brief little scuffle.
Yeah. Smiling Knight's not going to get booted out of his top lane.
Desire got a cooldown, gets locked.
Inside the shards. Double Guardian's coming in, but Warwick not able to break this Hoodwink free.
Eki's so smart, man. A lot of people would just go on the Hoodwink there and immediately use all your stuff. Like, you use Snowball on her, you punch her, but he throws out the shard, waits for Hoodwink to start using ulti to try and jump backwards, and then he immediately punches her with the wall runs punch to stop her jumping away.
And dodges the roll, snowballs Warwick, punches him. Dalai Lama with Warwick here trying to fight over top rune spot, and they'll kill Eki and controlling this area. Snake and Stormstormer not offering enough to hold them back. They will get away though from the Hoodwink and the Bushwhack while Dalai Lama goes in deep. Takes Stormstormer below half HP and brings Seneko with an inch of his life with that kick and Chakram. They've got the job done. Finishing blow from Dalai Lama, but now he's very deep. Zibe's going to come in here, clear out the Timber Saw. Stormstormer nearly dead. Magnetized from Warwick might get the job done, while Smiling Knight finally arriving in this fight. Getting pushed away though, as Warwick using that Timber Saw death to get another kill on Tiny, but now Zibe and Eki, they're pairing. Straight back in onto him, while Smiling Knight chases into Desire. PA doesn't really offer too much damage here, so I think Smiling Knight happy to keep chasing
get away?
with Eki backing him up. PA's got to run and hide. Oh, cut. Takes out the tree to get away from the ice shot. Blocked her in. 3 stacks of the goo, though, and a punch with the quills. Down goes the PA. Now Eki tips Dalai Lama.
I love this qualifier. The fights are just absolutely crazy. AVULUS again swing it around and now turning it into a tower push. Timber's getting there, but too late to defend the tower. Earth Spirit trying to set up some kill, but do you really go on Bristle?
As Timber, he offers a lot of damage, but you got to be careful about your positioning. You're not that tanky with no points in reactive armor.
So we have about 10 seconds before they get the blink initiation with Tiny here. I just want to point out, when the initiation came onto a Tiny, Dawnbreaker used her W to break the tree from Hoodwink before he even threw out the tree. He was so ahead and thinking, yeah, the Bushwhack is gonna come, so he breaks the tree immediately with the Celestial Hammer, freeing his mid laner. And here's the jump.
That's what it was. So good. Now a save on top with Tiny jumping in. They blow up Dalai Lama. Seneko happy to give his life for a core kill in this situation as they move into enemy ancients and look for the Chen. Kadaro chased by Zibe and an unstoppable Dawnbreaker having a great game here. Top of the net worth for Zibe.
Zibe is just owning in right now in a very commanding position as well, sitting on the enemy ancient, starting to farm that away. And this is all making it more difficult for Nightpulse to secure farm for PA. She's still working on that Battle Fury. Very close to it, but 14 minutes. It's a little bit behind the mark where you want to be.
Especially when you're being run at.
Yeah, all the time.
Look at the TPs.
Mass
4 heroes
TPs.
coming down. Zibe, what are you doing over here? Storm's going to toss Dalai Lama across in towards the Dawnbreaker. Now, Spirit Avalanche held back with Hoodwink still trying to chase forward. Chakram clicks onto Zibe. Big damage from the Sharpshooter. They take out the Dawn. Well, Warwick is still looking for that bonus target. Dalai Lama, he's hungry for it. They chase up the high ground here with the Earth Spirit, but another Avalanche, again, just kind of keeping him at bay. While Eki dies on the left-hand side to the PA. Another catch on the support. Desire with a double kill. Seneko dead. And a good turn of play there from Nightpulse.
This looks so much nicer than the previous game. The Timbersaw was a really great pick because it allows them to keep doing this. Just run. All their 3 cores are amazing for chasing. You've got the Earth Spirit with his mobility, PA with the daggers, and then Timber, who has both the damage and the chase. And Bristle wasn't there. The moment Bristle isn't available for a fight, you can just expect Nightpulse to all in.
Right, and this is what we kind of talked about at the end of the draft, right? This isn't the same kind of tempo from AVULUS as we've seen in Game 1. This is a little bit more wait for your timings, and they've definitely struggled to connect the Bristleback into these fights, as Smiling Knight has been building into the Aghanims, then the Bloodstone. But once this Bristleback hits that timing, it's going to be a bit challenging for Nightpulse to fully contend with him and the rest of the backup when AVULUS play as 5.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, they're trying to play a very similar tempo. It's just that Nightpulse are also rising up to a challenge and meeting that tempo. And this time they have an offlaner. Last game, they basically didn't have an offlaner as the Tidehunter was so shut down. But Timber is very strong and competitive in this. He obviously knows his way around it, being a level 30 Timber spammer. Dalai Lama saw a good game for it, and he's stepping up to meet the aggression from AVULUS.
It feels like he's being his vocal self as well, right? There's Timbersaw's the one spamming pings, leading the charge, opening things up, starting out with the big damage so his team can follow through. A good hero for Dalai Lama to be
They
on.
have a big item now as well. The Atos is complete on Hoodwink. That's gonna give them a bit of catch. In these scrappy engagements, Atos is amazing for just keeping people who go a little bit too aggressive out of position.
And PA kind of catching up and scaling as well. Like you said, a bit behind, but the Battle Fury is here, so the farm will come. Hoodwink gets to hold on to that tier 2 bottom. Gather up a bit more farm for herself. And a momentary period of calm here. As AVULUS look like they're going to smoke out this mid lane after clearing the wave.
Smiling Knight is getting disturbingly farmed on Bristleback though. He's close to a Bloodstone, with Aghanims already. Has not gone for the shard yet, so maybe he wants to get the shard from the Tormentor. A lot of time we see him buy it before. Oh no, PA.
Yeah, straight on to PA with that deep observer ward. AVULUS watched her coming, then going, and then dying.
Perfect smoke right there. The ward should be getting removed at least, as they realize that, okay, PA got jumped. But gotta wait until it's safe to go up and deward it.
Like, PA's picking that high ground, but there's already an Ob Sentry from Radiant there, and it's like, where is that ward?
Yeah,
Chen's got to find it on the edge.
It is a process of elimination. He knows that they saw him. They did definitely jump him from Fog of War.
Yeah.
So if it's not on the high ground, it has to be on low ground.
And then Bristleback cutting out the Ancients from the farming spot that PA could take.
That's
So
the bigger part of the story of this
go down
game.
bottom.
How many Ancients has PA been allowed to farm? Not too many. Like, you rely on Ancients a lot as PA to propel your net worth. But a lot of it is taken away.
Yeah, that's...
Hidaro.
Oh my god. This Dawnbreaker with the Orchid and the Bristleback nearby. Connecting in while
Janky.
Desire down bottom to Stormstormer's jump. There's Chen up top. Still going to get run at here with another Celestial Hammer and the big hits from the plus 200 bonus damage Bristleback. Smiling Knight dominating and a very hard hero to contend with.
Bloodstone is complete, so fighting into the sky is not gonna be easy. They have Solar Crest as well to buff up the front line. Snakeo's standing under a ward, but I don't think they want to go on him. Fear of the rest of the team joining. Stormstormer suspecting that PA is gonna farm this lane. The Dawnbreaker ulti is ready. Wait for it.
Oh, the PA shows. Yeah, you're right. Good call. They spot the PA, come back in, dead for 45. But yeah, this whole thing around the bristleback is what I guess I've been trying to vocalize, losing the words. You know, the tempo of AVULUS is comparatively less than last game because Smiling Knight is just farming all the Ancients, Dire Side Ancients, Radiant Side Ancients, playing a little bit away from his team. But now he's ready to join. He is monstrous. What is he, 4k ahead of any of the enemy cores? Roshan, potential objective for them to take now as well.
It's Tormentor first. You know how much AVULUS loves stealing stuff from their opponents. I think we're going to see them run down there. Even with the Earth Spirit behind, making space, the Tusk and the Bristleback are still keeping their eyes on the prize.
Seneko found him. He found him with a poison.
Oh,
and in comes the Dawnbreaker. Demonic Purge and a Silence onto this Earth Spirit. Debate. Silence now as well, so no Starbreaker for a moment. But he's going to be able to turn and fight back, keeping Seneko alive.
Meanwhile,
damage, and in the meantime, Kidaro dying, as is the Timbersaw here. Eki sliced down by the Chakram, though, and it looks like Dalai Lama isn't going to die. Gets a kill and pops back to high ground. No longer stuck down there. Tiny, though.
Tiny.
Jumping in again onto the Hoodwink. Tossed across the Smiling Knight. They cut down the tree, so no Bushwhack and Desire. Slapped down by the Bristle.
Yeah, and quick and easy kill. 15 seconds for the Wisdom Rune, and there is 0% chance that Night Pulse will get theirs. And the Tormentor and the Tower are both looking soon to fall. They need the BKB on PA. This timing has to come in, and PA is definitely behind where she wants to be. Once they get the BKB, maybe they can start doing something. But for now, they just have to concede the area.
Now you lose Tormentor, you lose Ancients. There's still waves to be gathered up here by AVULUS. They'll start filtering back to go to their side of the map. A lot of high-value farm, as it looks like the PA gonna scans up into the enemy triangle. She wanted to go rune and then play on the Dire side of the map, it looked like, but the scan turns red and changes the trajectory.
600 gold for his BKB. Like I mentioned, that's going to be what Night Pulse are holding out for right now. They're also working towards Shivas on the Timbersaw. 1,000 gold to go-ish. And AVULUS are not going to wait for any of their timings. They are getting closer to big items. They have some stuff coming out, but they're just goal mode. They have Blink on the Tusk now coming out on Courier. So he's going to be able to initiate and lead stuff for Dawnbreaker to follow up as well. And it's Roshan. Yeah, I don't think they contest this. Without BKB completed, this is just give up Roche time.
PA's all the way out top. Gonna come back and farm through Ancients. Timbersaw's not getting anywhere nearby, so... I think you're right, Roshan here for AVULUS.
Oh no. It's back. The Bristle, the SD.
Really stacked. And the Tomato gone. So Aegis on the Bristleback. 5 minutes of 2 lives. With a plate mail as well to protect him against some of that physical damage the PA would be bringing. This is going to be a torturous couple of minutes, it feels like, for Night Pulse. They're going to start
good target
with a good move on the Dawnbreaker. Zibe half health already. The roll in from the Earth Spirit. Going to clip onto Zibe as well, but now silenced and turned on. While the PA BKB, a demonic purge to slow her down. And in the back, going to force them away as the Solar Guardian's going to come and land in. Not quite catching on to cut, but Eki will with a blink and the punch. Random strike to jump away, but the gap closed there from Tiny and Tusk. Now turning onto the Chen. Night Pulse, a rough spot to try and fight from, but they had a good high ground hold. They had a good opening on the Dawnbreaker. And just AVULUS were ready for it.
AVULUS, they're looking like destroyers now coming. The Grim Reaper in the lower bracket, man. They lost to Night Pulse in the upper bracket, but this is do or die, and AVULUS are so prepared. Look at Eki, deep in already with the ward, blinking into this position. They have no clue he's there.
And Stormstormer attempting a Blink Avalanche toss back. Not quite landing it, though. Defensive posturing from Night Pulse, just trying to see what comes their way. Let the waves wash over them. as PA respawns in 4 seconds, but no BKB for 35. And Stormstormer's there again with a tiny toss back. Desire tries to force away from this, but the Starbreaker and the damage spilling out, they'll get her taken down, while Timbersaw has gone in pretty deep here. Quickly swung on by Smiling Knight. The Bristleback brings the damage. Timber dead for 50 seconds. Last-ditch efforts here by this Nightpulse side, but they'll lose the Chen. 4 are going to die. Buybacks only available on this Earth Spirit. And a lane of barracks about to fall.
We would probably see them call it here if there was anything else to go into, but this is tournament life. If you call it, you're just out, so you can try and hold on Nightpulse. Devastating blow to their base. 19k lead, got the Rax bottom open up. Age is still in hand on the Bristleback for 3 minutes. With how fast they're playing, it might not be a base, might not be a game when this Aegis is gone.
Yeah, it's like that sequence of Roche into fight, into Rax, into fight. Massive losses for Nightpulse.
Yeah, and we see PA, you know, she had the BKB in the previous fight, but SD ulti kept her in place in a good way. Yeah, you have your Phantom Strike. You may think that, oh, SD ulti doesn't bother me. It really does, because Soneko timed it to right after you blinked. So now you're just stuck on an island while everyone else kites you, and you can't move. Soneko is really having, like, fantastic silent impact in these fights, every single fight.
It's just perfect, isn't it? His Pugna, his Shadow Demon, really well-honed, well-oiled machines. And AVULUS again with his high ground ward, looking
sees the
for
ward,
a
but
toss
says
back.
nope.
Don't step forward.
Desire.
Looks like
He learned his lesson.
Nightpulse, no indication they want to defend this mid lane. PA?
I think they're giving up mid lane and just farming. They're going behind with Timber. We see the intentions drawn. Same, we'll wrap around.
Still getting jumped in their base though, as Eki and Stormstormer poke at this Earth Spirit and Hoodwink. They've now got Blink on Zibe as well, and a BKB popped. Smiling Knight
Timber.
hits Warwick, he's dead. Timber's going to come in from behind. AVULUS have already killed the PA. I'm going cross-eyed here, trying to figure out where to look, as this Solar Guard is landing on the Timbersaw. And one by one, Nightpulse falling. Davai Lama really the only hero left alive to do anything, and he's surrounded by 4 members of AVULUS. Good games called. AVULUS, well deserving of this 2-0 victory here in cricket to secure them that lower bracket final slot up against Na'Vi Jr.
And AVULUS, in similar fashion to yesterday, give us an extremely quick first game